Cynthia Perry, thanks for coming on today. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
You're our second person to do this, and we're thrilled to have you.
All right, I'm thrilled to be here.
Absolutely. So let's talk about, I guess, some of the things that we all talk about in Alexandria. One of the biggest questions that we get, and one of the things that I'm sure you talk about, is what is the future of Alexandria? What is the direction that you see it going in the future?
Um, right now, to be honest with you, I don't see a future for Alexandria. Um, it's so many things that need to be done for us to get into a future. The number one thing is to work with the administration and the council to come up with things that actually needed to be in the city to make it grow. We don't have anything right now at this point that is showing me that our future in Alexandria is big. Do we all have ideals? Do we all want this city to grow? Yes, we do. When you talk to constituents and you talk to people that want to move into Alexandria, the first thing they say is, what can you offer us? What can you offer for my children? What could you offer for my child that is going to graduate from college that may need a job here? And we don't have that right now. So it's a hard it's not a hard question, but it's how do we do it? How do we do it as administration, as a council, as a community? Everyone needs to be involved to actually grow Alexandria, and that's how I look at it.
What are some specific things that you would like to see in the near future to kind of spark that growth? What do you think it is?
First thing would be some kind of business, um, infrastructure, some business to come in so that we can see, or so that the constituents can see that if we bring one business in, then we can bring something else in. We have to be able to let the people know that we're stagnant, but we don't have to stay stagnant. Um, Work with the Chamber of Commerce. Work with those organizations with Gata, CLETA, so that they can help us move forward to actually make a future for the city of Alexandria. I see my vision is that Alexandria is a great place. Yes, we have the crime. Crime is everywhere. But if we work together and start downtown and people can see that, okay, here's a building that someone restored. Here's a company that the city has brought in. We have to have those things in order for people to want to come here and live in Alexandria.
I think one thing that some would point to is the new nursing thing they have downtown. But you're talking about businesses.
Mhm.
Something else is what would you like to see downtown possibly?
Actually, I would like to see some of those um, buildings restored. I would like to see maybe a coffee shop since we have CLTC downtown. We're going to have a nursing school downtown, and young folks, that's what they draw to. They draw to the coffee shops. And um I even thought about when we have Winterfest, we have all those vendors out there and we can't set up a building. Can you imagine having some of those vendors in those buildings downtown? When you go to Natchitoches, or when you even Bunkie, to me is it's when you go downtown, it's beautiful. You know, you see those buildings that been there for years, but they've restored them and they have businesses in them. And I just cannot see why we can't do that in Alexandria for our downtown area.
What do you think are some things that need to change for that to happen in your point of view?
Mm. Um, Togetherness, when you come up with an ideal or when you suggest something that the administration allows you, or even to think about implementing those ideas that the council may bring forward. It doesn't have to be a council, it could be a constituent bringing it to the council, and we bringing it to the mayor. So I just know that it's a lot that can actually be done downtown.
Are there any ideas that you come up across the city that have been shot down by or just unexpectedly shot down that you didn't expect that you wish went through?
Um, Actually, to be truthful, I hadn't heard of any ideas,
Mm.
that will work downtown or anybody suggesting anything downtown except when they were talking about the Wise and Gold Rings building. And technically, all they were saying was to renovate it, but not what it would be used for.
So you said togetherness, you just feel like sometimes there's just too much division in
I,
politics.
I do. I think the last 3 years, and including this year, we had a good relationship, with administration. And I say that w- because I just think that, when you see the meetings, it wasn't no argument. It wasn't no clowning. I didn't want that to happen. So I made sure that the way that I spoke to the constituents, the way that I addressed councilmen and the administration, it's all about respect. And once we learn how to respect one another, then those are the things that could help us move forward.
Uh, One thing I guess that the administration is pointing to is I'm sure you've heard about the Reignite program, about the Masonic Drive corridor. Have you looked at that? What do you think of it?
I looked at it, um, and to be honest, I thought it was a good vision because it was going to bring in a museum for the children,
Mm.
which is something that we don't have. But in my personal opinion, and my personal way that I feel, is that we take other things to the other side and we never bring things to the opposite side. Um, it has to be an equal balance there. We take, if we're going out to Masonic Drive and we have people in my district, in District 2 and District 1, that is, um, especially with my district, is um, less fortunate. So when we take things out there, how do we get our young people out there to visit the museum or visit whatever that they plan on putting out there? You always have to compare all districts and make things available for all districts. And I would like to see something done downtown or in my district. No, it's not the best district, but when your constituents have lost hope, how do you gain that hope back? How do you let them feel that we're going to help you? My constituents don't feel that way. So I would like to see something brought back to this place, to downtown, in the less fortunate districts, so that they can have something to call them their own or something to see. We talk about what we want, but it's not touchable. You We hear it, but we never see it. We never can say, here it is. I can put my hand on it. They gave us something in this district.
What do you think's been the reasoning behind that? Why they feel forgotten?
Well, because all these years, not with just me being elected, with all these years, what can they say that has been done in that district? I just told my husband, I said, the 4 years that I sit on council, I asked for things. They were put in the budget. And this is with the past administration as well as the previous administration. And if one of my constituents come and ask me, "What have you done that we can see?" And all I can say is nothing. So that hurts me as a council person when I know the things that I have asked for, like roads to be repaired, like ditches to be closed in, like sidewalks to be repaired. Um, Now we're on equipment in the parks. So we're waiting on a bid for that, which, hey, that would be a plus. And when you talk to your constituents, well, they think that you're not doing anything, that you're not requesting anything because they don't see anything. We need something visual, Steve. We need something that they can see. I don't see anything. I haven't seen anything. And I'm just like them. When do we get something? How can I bring the hope back to District 3? And as well as the seat of Alexandria. I never just harp on my district because and I'm not a councilman at large, but it's it's all districts, especially District 1, 2, and 3, that is needing something tangible, that is needing something that the people can see, that the people can use.
And kind of want to delve into that more. Let's say you had a magic wand and you want to put something in your district. What are some things you like to see done sooner rather than later? Because you know the speed of government is
Right.
pretty slow.
Um, I would like to see the parks with the correct playground equipment in it. For years, even before I got elected or was serious about becoming a council person, they always wanted a grocery store. Always wanted a grocery store. District 3 is a food desert. Now, it's not anywhere that they can go to make grocery. You have the Dollar General.
Mm.
We have two of those in the district. And then you have like the service stations. We used to have three of those that was ran by the Arabs, if I'm not mistaken. And now it's only one of those left in District 3. But they've always asked for a grocery store.
I remember that too. We've talked about that in my previous work as well. How do we get that to happen? What do you think's holding it back?
First of all, I think um,
And it could be a number of things too.
I know they would talk about the rooftops. You got to have enough rooftops to put a grocery store somewhere. Also, they look at the crime in that area and wonder what grocery store would actually want to come to an area where it's so much crime. Um, there is, several reasons, but I think that if we was just given that chance to get a grocery store, then the people can see it's a light. It's not a big light, but it's a light at the tunnel, at the end of the tunnel. Just give them something that they really need, and that would be a grocery store.
So that could be the catalyst you think of better things to come.
Yes.
Having that. Okay.
Yes.
So you've been in politics for a couple of years now. What are some of the main things that have surprised you here in Alexandria in government?
How you don't work together. I guess I had to learn a lot. I was so naive, just seeing and sitting from the outside before I got elected. But how we don't work together, how's there no unity? Um,
Some of the divisiveness is what you're saying.
yes.
Yeah. Uh, and going back to what we think the future of Alexandria is there like a certain city or model that you're like, man, I feel like we could attain this? Not something like grandiose, maybe, but something like this is our next.
Just negative. Just negatives. I always use negatives as an example. We have the river right there. We can't have a river walk. Um, just looking at all the space that we have downtown, a river walk, stores downtown, little shops, little vendor shops, just something to say, we can do this. And I believe if we try and we get someone to work with us to get these things going, then someone else would say, oh, they did that. I can do this too. And we have a whole river, and Natchitoches have a whole river. I always compare Alexandria to Natchitoches. Um, they do so much on that river, and I feel like we can do the same way. We're remodeling the amphitheater. So when you remodel that, what are you remodeling it for? What are you going to bring to utilize the amphitheater? Put something down there. Once you do have an event at the amphitheater, then those people leave and they walk downtown and they can walk to these vendor shops and they see different things that can help our city grow.
Do you think it's gotten a little better? Because I remember when I first started, downtown was almost a ghost town, right? About 15 years ago. There have been a couple restaurants pop up, some bars. I know they opened a bar downtown, but you want to see more done. All these buildings filled up. Is that what you're thinking?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, the majority of those buildings filled up with I was so with Miss Jennifer Atwood when she had her um, bakery down there, and I would go visit it, and I would tell her, thank you for putting this in my district. Then we have that pub,
Mm.
um, and they seem to be doing pretty good
The
because
tipsy room.
yes,
Yeah.
because they're staying open. So why can't we see? I don't know if other people are afraid to step out and do this, but or maybe they want the city to help them, or they don't know how to go about doing these things. We need to make that available for them to say, hey, this is what you need to do. Come to the city, let the city tell you what you need to do to open up this business, to start your small business. Make that ready available for them.
But you'd like to see more than just the fets. Because I know Winterfest just wrapped up too.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Um, at least with the winter fat, you give them something to do. And so I want knock it because you have the kids, and that's very important to me that the children have something to do. And the winter fat is something that brings a family together to be able to do something together downtown.
I want to move on to one of the bigger issues we've seen is redistricting. Don't want to spend forever on it,
We're
but
not.
yeah, please. Uh, your thoughts on that? We're talking about the whole issue with districts 2, 3, and 4, if I'm correct, right?
Right.
Drawing the maps for the council districts. Tell us why you brought up that issue again.
I brought it up again because when it was first introduced, I it was a no for me. I didn't want it to be changed. They call it Catherine Porter plan. It worked. We had the RAPC that helped on that redistricting. They thought that it was a good plan. I'm sure Mr. Porter and Miss Davidson thought that it was a good plan. And we all thought it was a good plan because seven of us voted on it. Seven. All seven of us voted on that plan. And so clearly it was a good plan. What made it change or what made individuals change their mind, I don't know because I never asked them, why would you change your mind? I never asked them, so I'm not sure why they changed their mind. I just think that it was not the right thing to do. You accept it and you move on. But they had a change in mind or a change in heart, Um, and it was because Miss Felter's home was moved out of District 4 and moved to my district, which is District 3. And she wanted her home back in District 4. And so that's where the change came in. And they put it back to Mrs. Felter plan, Councilwoman Felter's plan.
When you saw the veto, what'd you think?
It was the last thing I thought. I don't know why I didn't think about the veto. It was not in my mind. I am so serious. I just never thought that here we are, we're going to move forward because this is the right thing to do. And the mayor vetoed it, and he has it right. We didn't have enough votes, 2/3 vote. And so Ms. Felter get to leave her home back in her district. And at this point, it's nothing else we can do.
So you were surprised when he vetoed it?
I really was.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't. I mean, I was not even thinking about a veto. I don't know why I wasn't thinking about that.
When you hear her argument too, that she wants to make sure that they keep neighborhoods together and they think that's important, what's your reaction to that?
What neighborhood?
I think they're referencing the Garden District.
Yes, that's my question. What neighborhoods? Um, like I said, we all have different districts, but just like Mr. Johnson told her, you didn't walk in my district. You didn't walk in District 2. You didn't walk in District 3. You stayed in your district. And so she got what she wanted, and it's nothing we can do about it.
Feel like you'll be able to work together though.
Absolutely. I even told her this wasn't personal. This isn't personal for me. For me, it's me making a wrong a right. As I sit and I think about it, if it was vice versa with those four individuals at that time, and I go to them and I say, I want to. I don't want to be in District 4. I want my home to be back in District 3. Would they have voted for me to put my home back in District 3?
So do you think the issue's done or is it gonna come back up again? What's
I'm not
next?
bringing it back up again because what would be the point to bring it back up again? To get vetoed again? I'm not. I've accepted, and I move on, and I hope that as council members, we just go on and work together to better the city of Alexandria, not just District 4, 3, 2, 1, 5, or whatever, but to better the city of Alexandria. And when people say that, when council members talk, it's not for me, it's just not about District 3. It is about the city because we need the city to grow. It is so stagnant. And for its division, I don't like division. I've worked these 3, 4 years trying to make us have unity, and I'm going to continue to do that.
And I know you're only one council person. Do you see any legal steps being taken it to court?
Um, Not by me.
Okay. All right, we're off the redistricting now, so we're good. So, one of the big issues that we talk about all the time, you could probably guess what I'm gonna say, is crime in Alexandria. Why do you think we have such a crime issue, and what are some tangible steps we can take?
Uh,
Big question, right?
it is a big question because I get it all the time, and they put it on the council members because of the crime. And I don't. I remember growing up as a young girl, people used to say that in our that the ministers were the pillar of the community. Um, I've attended meetings. I know that I've attended so many meetings When someone get killed, then someone's gonna have a meeting, gonna bring all these people in, and I say this all the time, and we'll talk about it, and then I'll go to another meeting and we'll discuss it. And after that, what happens? We're not meeting anymore. We're not trying to find that solution. We wait until someone get killed. We have these meetings. Then we fade out. Um, Crime would have, in order for it to stop, I don't know. When I first ran and I first got elected, I promise you in 2020, someone got killed seemed like every day. And I would go to these crime scenes. And the last one I went to, it was eh, two young people that attended Peabody where I worked, and they had set their bodies afire and buried them. I would go to whatever crime scene it was, but after that one, I I couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't do it anymore.
That's a lot.
And one officer told me, he said, Miss Perry, say you're the only one that come out to crime scenes. You don't have to do that. And I said, I just want to let the family know that I care. But I have not been back to any crime scenes since that last one. I don't know. And that's what I was getting to. I told the news report, I'm not sure at that time who it was. I told them, I don't know how to stop crime. I would lie if I sit here and say I do. I don't know how to stop crime. If I did know, I would stop it every time I thought that a young person was going to get killed. Um, I said that if the council, the administration, the community, the ministers, in the parents, in the parents, if we all could come together and not just meet once, continue to meet until we can find a solution to stop the killing, to stop the crime. I'm going to tell you, I don't know how we stop crime, but that I think with us meeting, we could at least try to come up with a solution.
And we can just talk through this. And sometimes I feel like we elected y'all to lead, like, right? You, the mayor, whoever.
Hmm.
But I think it's a little short sighted just to say crime is up. Let's blame politicians.
And they do.
It's a community issue, right? Do you feel like sometimes it's thrown around a lot as just a political football used as an advantage during election season too? Not saying it's not important, but do you think it's just more complex than just talking and saying it's politicians all the time?
I don't. I think people actually don't know who to blame. So we're the next person, the politician is the next person. We don't know. As a parent, I'm not going to say I'm the reason why my child got killed. I'm the reason why crime is out there. We're not going to say that, but we're going to say, well, I elected Councilwoman Perry, and she should be doing something about it. She is that individual that should be doing something about it. And if Councilwoman Perry knew how to stop it, she would. And and I always say this when I talk to other people. In the Bible, God was walking on earth and it was crime. It was crime. And he was right there. He was a person that had all powers to control. But they killed. They killed in the Bible. So how do we stop it? I feel like one thing we can do, and I know we're short of police officers, is they have to gain their respect back with the communities. I remember you used to see them riding on the bicycles, going through the community, and then the community knew who their officer were that was riding that bicycle. Um, and I know, you don't have enough officers to do that anymore. But even we have our neighborhood watch meetings and we have officers there. and they explained everything to us. You ask them a question, they give you the answer, which is great, and I commend them for that. But when it comes to this crime, Stephen, I don't have an answer for you. My answer would be that, like I said, the parent, the council member, the administration, the pastors, and some of the police officers to come and meet. And we can meet and meet and meet and meet, but we have to find a solution. And I can't find that solution by myself.
What do you think some next steps could be on helping to address that, or at least take the next step? I know you said we've done meetings in the past, but like you said, I think just a lot of people feel hopeless about it in certain areas too, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Um, all you can do is meet, and we meet, and the parents or the constituents voice their opinion, and because whoever, like the police officers or the police chiefs, I think that they're doing their job, even with the shortage. But the community also has to know that if you see something, you have to tell somebody. And we don't believe in that a lot. And I get it because of fear. They could sit there and see the whole thing, but won't say anything because of fear. And I get that you have these senior citizens. No, they don't want somebody coming back retaliating on them because they told the story or they told what they saw. So this to me is like a twofold. Um, I don't have that answer.
It's a tough one for sure. The officer shortage. I'm gonna let you, and I'll ask the question for you. The officer shortage. I know that's a big thing. The administration admits it's a big deal. They're trying to find solutions. How much does that concern you? What do you think the plan is for that?
I don't know what the plan is, but I think Chief Grimion, I think he's willing to, anytime I speak to him, I can call him at any time, ask him any questions, ask him what his plan is, and he will tell me, Miss Perry, we're doing such and such. Miss Perry, I'll let you know when I find this out. I'm not going to take anything away from our police officers because we have officers that are pulling double shifts. Can you imagine doing that, going home? Being a police officer is stressful all by itself. And so I think they're doing the best that they can. When constituents would say that they're not, you have to walk in those shoes. And I think that that's a big shoe to walk in. Y- First of all, your life is on the line. Second of all, you don't know if you will be returning to your family or not. And then you're worked and you're overtired. So when you're overtired, everything's not going to always come out nice. And we don't see it that way. So I commend them.
The administration points to a number of statistics that shows that crime is technically down this year over year from last year. What was your reaction when you saw that?
If it was down, it surely didn't seem like it was. But I hear so much. It and you see so much. It's out in the open. But to hear that it was down, that was a good. It was a plus for me. I'm glad that it was, and I hope that whatever they did and how they did it, that they continue to do it so it can even go less than what it is.
Anything else you want to say about crime?
I just hope that we collectively can find a way, and that's going to involve the parents as well. It's just not going to involve the officials, the city officials, um, but the constituents and family members going to have to come together and see how we could. I know that we can't stop it, but to see how we can work to make it less than what it is.
Yeah, I guess accountability and community would be a good start,
It will be.
for sure. Oh, I want to bring this up too, not to get too like political on the federal level too, but we've heard it up, heard it brought up at the meetings. The National Guard in cities across Louisiana. Have you heard anything about that? Would you welcome it?
Well, I heard about it, and
Because Mr. Johnson said absolutely not. He was the only one that really spoke out about it.
yeah, he did. I don't know. I think with the National Guard, I feel like in our city, it would be more of I don't think helpful. I think it would agitate those young people, even though if they could help us, I think it would agitate the young people. Um, and I think that would be a conflict. So I'm not saying that I'm not agreeing with it, and I do agree with it. It would just, I would just have to see if they bring them, how that will work. I just feel like um, it would just agitate the community.
Have you heard anything about it? Oh,
No one has said anything for us. Anybody in the community, has called me or emailed me or anything saying yes or no.
and one thing the administrator, because we talked to the mayor last time, so I'm just kind of going off that. One thing he talked about too was new tech, new efforts for community policing. Have you seen those, and do you have an opinion on those?
I have not.
Okay. All right. So I want to talk about more economic development. We've heard from the administration, others about data centers possibly coming to the Alexandria area. Have you heard anything about that? Any conversations that you can talk about?
I can't talk about it because I hadn't heard about it.
Haven't heard anything about it.
No.
Would you like to see them?
If that brings jobs, absolutely.
Okay. When so the mayor told us they've had several conversations with several companies. You'd like to see those push forward if it means
If it means employment and opportunities for people in this city of Alexandria, absolutely. Absolutely.
one another big issue, and we don't have to talk all day about this either, but we've been seeing a lot of the different municipalities talking about carbon capture and sequestration. Do you expect that to come up in an Alexandria meeting in
I
the
do.
future?
I do. Mayor Butler and Woodworth, they came up with the ordinance, and he sent that ordinance to me. I think with the carbon capture, I would actually, I wouldn't want to be the one to make that decision. I would like for the constituents to make that decision, um, because it would affect them. So I would like for them to have that. Like I said, I would like for them to make that decision, not us.
So you like for them to vote on it?
Mhm.
Okay. You have any aspirations for higher office at all? Have you ever thought about that?
I hadn't. Even with this presidency, I would always I told my husband and I would always tell all the council members, I don't need a title to do what I want to do as a council person. I am who I am. I am a servant of God, and a title doesn't make me. But I got elected anyway. But anyway, no, at this point, I don't. I still have work that I have to do, work that I have felt like in the last 4 years not getting anything done. That's how I feel. So no, I can do just what needs to be done sitting right here as a council person.
Why'd you get into politics in the first place?
Look, that's $1,000 question.
Fun.
I'm not I'm not sure how. I just remember I was the president of the Woodside Samtown
Uh-huh.
neighborhood. I was president for almost 10 years. And every time in this particular year, I told my husband, I said, every time I go to the meetings, they're asking for the same thing. They're asking for simple things. They're asking to get the roads repaired, get the sidewalks repaired, get the ditches cut, um, recreation for the children. And for 10 years, each time we would go to this meeting once a month, it was the same thing over and over again. And so, you know what? I said, well, let me see. Maybe if I run, I could get some of these things done. I had no political mind, no political experience, none of that. And so I ran. I lost that first year. And then I ran in 2020 and I got elected. And what I did learn, it's not as easy as you think it was. I thought that you could go up there and you could ask for what you want and it would happen.
No,
No.
I go to the meetings too, and I have for years. And I don't know if this is an appropriate question. I'm just a curious guy. Is it just exhausting? Like I watch them.
Um, for me, I've grown. Um, I, like I said, the first 2, 3 years, I wore everything, all my feelings just was all over my body.
Yeah.
And I started to grow. I stopped looking at social media. Um, I would go from page to page, seeing what everybody would say about me. And so I stopped doing that. And I decided that I had a talk with God and I let him knew that I needed him to work through me. And a lot of people don't. I'm just that person to talk about God. And when he started working through me, everything just started peeling
Mm.
off. I could take what you dish out to me, what you say about me, I could take it because I know that I'm doing the best that I can. I know that I'm asking the administration for the things that you have asked me for. But I had to learn that even if it's voted upon, I don't have the last say. The administration has the last say. And so I've learned that. And now when I talk to people, that's what I tell them. I did ask for your street to be repaired. Um, it's it's there. We're waiting to see, what the administration is going to say. And all I want, Stephen, is for us to work together. But when we work together to get things done, get things done. Do something that is tangible, something that people can see. And that's all they want. If they could just see one thing, like we have this old shopping mall on Willow Glen behind the Dollar General. If they would just tear that down, they wouldn't even know how much hope just doing that would give the people. They've been asking for that for years. Um, if you could just tear that down, it's just things, that if they could just see something, but they haven't saw anything.
I want to get your thoughts on some other things too. Uh, I think your background, of course, is education, right?
Hmm.
I think that's one of the most important things we can do to fix a lot of problems we have, is to really push those types of things. Your thoughts on that?
I work at Peabody in high school as a registrar. Education has always, because a lot of people don't know that I ran for school board.
Oh,
And it's been, I don't know, 2016. I'm not even sure. But I ran for a school board seat against Mr. John Allen. It's powerful. I respect Mr. Allen with everything. But we're not in those days like when I was in school. Not to say you have caring teachers, you have teachers that want to teach, you have teachers that's there because they get a paycheck. But with the students that we have, less fortunate children, they require more. They require more of your attention. They require more tutoring, and we have to be able to give that to them in order for them to succeed. S- Um, and then we also have a different set of students. They're not like little Johnny or little Mary. We have students that has to be adults because mom is working at night and we have little siblings. So when I get out of school, I have to go home and I have to prepare a meal and I have to watch those kids until mom gets off in the morning. And then I'm tired. And so I come to school and I put my head on my desk because I've been that adult in the house and it happens. Or you have a student that it's in a home and over its roof is a big it's a big hole. It's um so many incidents that I could talk about our students, but the main thing that they need, I think when they come to school, it's a safe haven. It's a safe haven for them. They know that we're going to go above and beyond for them, that we're going to give them the love that they're needing. Some of them will accept it, some of them will not. But when I look at education, I see a lot of our children are not going to college. They're not attending college. But if they're not attending college, we have to encourage them to get a trade. Every child is not college material, but if you're not college material, you also have a trade. And we need to start encouraging our students to find a trade.
I think there's been a big push there too with our local universities,
Hmm.
CLTCC,
Yes,
especially in the high schools.
right.
Seems like a pretty interesting plan there. All right, tough questions now. That's the part we're getting to.
I thought those were the tough
Oh, this
questions.
is gonna be a tough one. If what are you binge watching right now?
I'm sorry.
Do you binge watch TV? Is there like a show you got right now?
Nope.
No show?
I'm not a TV watcher. That's what everybody,
Okay.
that's the crazy part.
Well, what do you do?
My daughters be like, Mama, you're a council person. You need to keep up with the news. I'm just not a TV. If I watch TV, I promise you it's not the news.
Yeah.
And they tell me, don't tell nobody that it's not the news. Because one thing I don't have to worry about, if it's something, somebody's going to send me a text, they're going to send me a messenger, they're going to send it. And I'd be like, I didn't even know that happened.
I hear you.
You know,
I work in the news business and I don't know what's going on in
yes.
the top.
And that's what my daughters always say, Mommy, you got to know some things. Don't worry about it. They're gonna send it to me. Somebody's gonna send it to me. But if I watch TV, it's the Food Channel. I love Food Channel.
Oh, me too. I love
And
diners, dive-ins, and drive.
yes,
That's the.
that's the best one.
Mhm.
And then I like Carnival Eats.
I haven't seen that one.
Oh yeah, you gotta watch it. This guy, he goes to all the different carnivals
Nice.
and sample all the different items that they have out there.
Yeah, that's a good one. Chopped. The little competitions they have. You don't like the
I
competition?
don't like the competition.
They had the little kid ones the other day. I enjoyed that one. They're way better than I am. Favorite movie? Do you have one?
Um, Shirley Chisholm.
Shirley Chisholm?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I've seen that one.
Yeah, she was the first African American Congresswoman. I watched that during my
I like about.
election. Yes.
Okay, awesome. Awesome. All right, now this actually might get you in hot water, so you have to think about it wisely.
Okay.
If you're going to go to a restaurant in Alexandria, where are you going?
You should ask me that because
That'll get you in the most trouble than anything else we've talked.
I know because I was telling, so I'm not going to say it, but yesterday I was telling my husband, I said, "Who I want?" I had made a big pot of gumbo, but I didn't want the gumbo. I wanted something, I wanted like a seafood platter, just a big, nice seafood platter. And I'm thinking in my head, where can I go? Where?
Uh-huh.
So we got to get a seafood platter, but I actually was going to go to the barge
Uh-huh.
to get the seafood platter, but I ended up going home doing crab legs. So
Okay. You didn't want to name the restaurant, huh?
no. You would not get me in trouble. I
Come
would
on.
not get no passes to come eat. Mm-mm. I think we have some great restaurants here
I got you.
in Alexandria.
Okay. Give me your top three. I'm kidding. You don't have to. It's okay.
You,
Anything else?
Um, I don't. I want people to know Cynthia. Um, Not by the title, Councilwoman Perry. I want them to know that I am just a everyday individual who wants better things for not just my district, but for all districts in the city of Alexandria. I want to be able to have my grandkids um, say, my mama tried. She tried to make it better so that as we get older, we won't leave and have to go somewhere else to find a job. I want Alexandria to be a place where people could say, "Oh my God, this is a nice city. Let's you know, let's go move here." They have things that we can do. I I'm not um a big bad person. I love my city. I love Alexandria. And
I think even if people don't agree with you, no one thinks you're a big bad person. I think that's fair to say. So
I just I am who I am. I don't try to change. I want what is right. I want it done right. I want everybody to be treated equally. Um, and I want when you give something to others, give it to the other people as well. That's all I ask for. And I've learned to contain my emotions. And I just want us to be the administration and the council to be as one. And I would like for the administration to get some things done that other people can see, that the constituents can see that, okay, he gave us this or he repaired this road. Just show them something. I want them to have hope. I don't I don't want them to think that they have to continue living their lives the same way for so long and for their grandchildren to have a better life. I just want what is best. What is best.
well, thank you. I know obviously very passionate. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
You will.
I think that's what we all want is coming together and try and make things better. I believe in the place. I know you do too. So I think we got bright things ahead if we all work together. So I appreciate it. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else?
That's it.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Good to see you. Yes, ma'am.